Yo, what's up, guys? Yesterday, some huge Chicago Bulls news came out pretty much regarding like the whole Chicago Bulls and like head coaching search and a bunch of news about that. So in today's video, I'm just going to be going over that and like of course the names that have been interviewed and are going to be interviewed for like Arcidiacono's possible list for like the next head coach of the Bulls. But before I get into that, if you guys watch all my videos, make sure you guys are subscribed. I'm trying to hit 10K soon. You know, make sure you're subscribed and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any uploads. I try to upload pretty much every day. And at 10K, I'll do like a face reveal, maybe like a Q&A or like a giveaway. I don't know. I'm still debating what I should do for 10K. But yeah, let's just jump into today's video. You know, last night, Woj put out a tweet pretty much saying that like ESPN was covering like the whole like Chicago Bulls head coaching search. And there's been a lot of rumors about the Chicago Bulls still like eyeing potential like head coaches and like assistant head coaches that are like still in the playoffs in the bubble. And a big name that the Chicago Bulls have interviewed that I've seen a lot of you guys in the comments saying the Bulls should hire, and he's been like kind of linked to us ever since he got fired out of nowhere, is of course Kenny Atkinson. And the Bulls have interviewed Kenny Atkinson already. And like I said, they are also set to be involved with several head coaches both outside and inside the NBA bubble. You know, I like Kenny Atkinson. I'm going to be honest, I do see him being like our next head coach. I don't know why, I just have a feeling about it. You know, he's a really good like player development head coach type guy, you know. He's really based on like good relationships with his players. And Arcidiacono said that that's the main thing they're looking for in a head coach, is a good guy that of course knows how to win some games, develop players, and they of course have good relationships with them, because that's pretty much everything Jim Boylen was not. So it just makes sense to hire Kenny. You know, I'm going to be honest, Kenny isn't nothing too special. You know, his record isn't the greatest. I'm not even going to get into that. He pretty much had one solid season in the NBA, and I'm just going to say solid. You know, it was nothing crazy. I mean, he did take a pretty bad Brooklyn Nets team to like the playoffs, but other than that, he hasn't had a lot of success in this league, even though a lot of like players have talked really highly about him, you know, how good of a guy he is and how good of a coach he is. And like I said, he developed a bunch of Brooklyn Nets players and took them to the playoffs. I'm still surprised the Brooklyn Nets fired him, because I thought he was like a good up-and-coming coach. You know, he was finally winning some games and learning how to like coach in the playoffs. But then, of course, Kyrie and KD fired him, and there's like a lot of rumors about them wanting Greg Popovich, but good luck with that whole situation. And two new names joined the Chicago Bulls head coaching search, and one of the names was Mavs assistant coach Jamal Mosley, and another is Heat assistant coach Dan Craig. You know, he just wrapped up his 5th season as an assistant with the Mavs, and he's like described as Dallas's like defensive coordinator. And he also interviewed for the New York Knicks job back in June. So of course he's on the market, and the Mavs are a pretty good team, so any like assistant coach, especially like a good assistant coach like him, and then of course they have a great head coach down in Dallas. So it made sense that the Bulls are interested in him. And now on to Dan Craig. You know, he's in his 4th year as an assistant coach with the Heat, and he's been with the organization for like 17 years. He also coached Miami's G League team in 2015 and 2016. And he was also on Greg Popovich like coaching staff at the like Team USA basketball training camp in 2018. And he started in the video department, so he's worked, you know, he's put in his time and he's made his way up there. So it made sense his name is in there as well. You know, there's a lot of rumors about the Bulls like looking into assistant head coaches. Like I don't see too many like just head coaches. I see a lot of assistant head coaches, so that is interesting that Arcidiacono is going like that route. And like I said, Woj tweeted out yesterday that like a bunch of Eastern Conference teams were given like permission to like for the Bulls to interview like their assistant coaches and such, especially those like still in the playoffs. And some of those that like gave us permission to interview them are Milwaukee's assistant head coach Darvin Ham, of course Denver's assistant head coach Wes Unseld Jr. Of course, you know, he made sense. Of course the Nuggets are a great team just like the Bucks as well. And with all these guys that I'm naming, they all pretty much are coming from winning teams, and Arcidiacono said that when we brought him in. He wanted to bring in a guy that's been like focused and like surrounded with winning, so I'm happy about that. And I also have a feeling like Wes Unseld Jr. could also be the Bulls head coach. Of course, Arcidiacono pretty much hired him in Denver, and of course they have a great connection. They worked together for many years, and it just made sense. Of course, if the Nuggets don't like choke Game 7 against the Utah Jazz and like maybe they fire Mike Malone and burn him up, who knows? That's an interesting topic to talk about. I've been seeing that on Twitter as well. And also Miami's, of course, Dan Craig, like I said, were among like the players that the Bulls were granted like permission to speak with and like interview. You know, it doesn't really say if the Bulls have interviewed them or are going to still, but it's still good to see that the Bulls are interested in a bunch of like winning assistant coaches in like the NBA bubble. And some other names that the Bulls are allowed to speak with are two of Dallas Mavericks assistant head coaches. One is Jamal Mosley, like I went over, and Stefan Silas. I don't know if I said his name correctly. I'm sorry if I butchered it. And also the Bulls have permission to interview and like talk to Philadelphia's 76ers assistant head coach Ime Udoka. You know, he's like the number one guy. I feel like he's also connected to the Bulls. I see a lot of rumors about that. Of course, he's connected to another like front office member of the new Bulls like front office, and Mark Eversley. You know, he worked with 76ers, so it just makes sense for him as well. So it's good to see that the Bulls interviewed him as well, even though I do see him like taking like the 76ers head coaching job. I don't know why, but I just feel that as well. And this last guy that I'm going to talk about is kind of weird. I don't know why we'd want like him. I mean, we also interviewed the assistant head coach of the Minnesota Timberwolves in David Vanderpool. And the team will also speak to former Brooklyn Nets head coach Kenny Atkinson, like I said. You know, that's a lot of names. I'm happy the list is long. You know, Arcidiacono is keeping his options open. I honestly expect more names to come to that list. You know, of course, after the NBA playoffs get done and more like head coaches and assistant coaches get fired or their contracts are up. And as of right now, I definitely want like Wes Unseld Jr. or Kenny Atkinson. Any coach that has like associated with a lot of winning, I feel like will instantly help our players, especially since both those guys know how to develop players. And like the number one thing that goes on in their mind is like good player development, like player like based relationships. So I'm pretty happy with this list, other than like the Minnesota like associate head coach. But like I said, I expect more names to come throughout on this list and the Bulls to interview more guys. I'm of course going to keep you guys updated. You know, maybe I'll make some more videos going more in depth about these guys. You know, I just gave my opinion on them and like just pretty much naming names and listing them. Yo guys, I'm editing this into the current video because I forgot this earlier. But the Chicago Bulls are also interviewing like already within the organization and like the old like coaching staff. The Bulls are also interviewing current assistant head coach Chris Fleming. As you guys know, Arcidiacono decided to keep Chris Fleming because I'm pretty sure him and Chris Fleming worked together before. So it's pretty cool that the Bulls are interviewing him. And they've also like thought about meeting with the other assistant head coach, Roy Rogers. You know, both are remaining from former head coach Jim Boylan's staff. So that's pretty interesting to see as well. You know, there's not really much other than that they're 100% are going to interview Chris Fleming and possibly meet with Roy Rogers. You know, if any other rumors come out about that, I'll of course keep you guys updated. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's quick video. Maybe I'll have another video out tomorrow, like going like more in depth with these guys and learning more about them. Let me know who you guys want the Bulls to hire as their next head coach. Thank you guys for watching this video and all the support on the channel recently. Have a good one.